My name is Robert Williams, and I'm 73 years old. At 73 years old, I never imagined my life could change in a single sentence. I was sitting on a cold chair in a quiet room, listening to a doctor speak in a calm, almost rehearsed voice, when he said a word that made everything else disappear: cancer. In that moment, time felt strange. My heart was beating, but my mind was frozen. I remember thinking, not why me, but is this really how my story slows down? I had lived long enough to believe I understood life, yet that one word stripped away every illusion of control. What followed was not panic, not tears, but a heavy silence, and inside that silence, a decision began to form. A decision that surprised my family, confused my friends, and completely changed the way I looked at the time I had left. I am 73 years old, and I've lived through decades of hard work, quiet sacrifices, and moments I thought I could revisit someday. Like many people, I believed there would always be more time to rest, more time to speak honestly, more time to live the way I truly wanted. This is not a story about hospitals, treatments, or medical charts. This is a story about life, regret, and the clarity that sometimes only arrives when time feels limited. I'm sharing this not because I have all the answers, but because when everything was taken away from me in a single moment, I finally understood what truly matters. If you're young, I hope you listen carefully. And if you're older, I hope you see a reflection of your own thoughts in mine. At 72, life had slowed into a quiet routine that felt permanent. Mornings began the same way every day, with a cup of tea, the sound of distant traffic, and small aches I had learned to ignore. I told myself this was just old age, nothing serious, nothing worth worrying about. I had survived so much already: loss, failure, disappointment, that I believed I could survive anything else too. Then one afternoon, sitting in a small room that smelled of disinfectant, my name was called. The doctor didn't rush. He spoke gently, carefully choosing his words, and that carefulness frightened me more than anything. When he said I had cancer, the world didn't collapse. Instead, it became very still. I noticed the clock ticking, the light on the wall, my own hands resting quietly on my knees. In that stillness, memories came flooding back: my younger self, full of plans, years spent chasing responsibilities, moments I postponed happiness because I thought there would be time later. I realized something painful in that moment. I had prepared for retirement, for old age, even for death in theory, but I had never prepared for truth. Cancer didn't feel like an enemy right away. It felt like a mirror, forcing me to look at my life without excuses, without distractions, without lies. That night, sleep refused to come. The house was silent, but my mind was louder than it had ever been. I replayed conversations I never finished, apologies I never offered, and dreams I quietly abandoned because life felt too busy. I thought about how many times I said, someday, as if it were guaranteed. Someday I'll rest. Someday I'll speak honestly. Someday I'll live for myself. Lying there in the dark, I understood that someday is the most dangerous word we use. Cancer didn't suddenly make me afraid of dying. It made me afraid of having lived without meaning. I thought about the people I loved and how often I had been present physically, but absent emotionally. I remembered chasing money, approval, and security, believing they would eventually bring peace. But peace never arrived. Instead, years passed quietly. That night, I asked myself a question I had avoided for decades. If my time is limited, what truly matters now? I decided that whatever time remained would not be spent pretending. I stopped carrying old anger that had weighed me down for years. I reached out to people I had pushed away with silence. Some conversations were awkward, some painful, but all of them were real. I began saying what I felt instead of what sounded safe. I chose presence over productivity, peace over pressure. I learned to sit with my loved ones without rushing, to listen without planning my next response. Even simple moments, watching the sky change color, holding a hand, sharing a quiet meal felt deeper, richer, more alive. Cancer didn't give me wisdom. It removed my distractions. It stripped life down to its essentials and showed me how little I truly needed to feel fulfilled. I stopped waiting for perfect conditions to be happy. I stopped believing fear deserved control over my choices. Every day became a conscious act instead of a habit. I wasn't trying to escape death. I was finally choosing life. And in doing so, I felt lighter than I had in decades. Not because my future was certain, but because my present was finally honest. If there is one thing I wish I had understood earlier, it is this. You don't need a diagnosis to change your life. You don't need a warning to start living with intention. Time feels endless when you're young, but it is quietly slipping away even then. Don't wait for loss to teach you value. Don't wait for illness to teach you gratitude. Say what needs to be said now. Choose what truly matters now. I don't know how long my journey will continue, and I no longer pretend to control that. What I do know is that clarity is a gift, even when it arrives through pain. Cancer forced me to stop running and finally look at my life as it was, not as I imagined it would be. And in that honesty, I found peace. If you're listening to this, take it as a reminder, not a warning. Life is happening right now, in this moment. Don't postpone your happiness, your love, or your truth. Make your decision before life makes it for you. As I sit here now, I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. And for the first time in my life, I'm not afraid to admit that. I used to believe that certainty was safety, that planning every step would somehow protect me from pain. But life doesn't work that way. What I've learned is this: the length of your life matters far less than the depth of it. Cancer didn't give me answers about the future, but it gave me clarity about the present. It taught me to slow down, to be grateful for ordinary moments, and to stop living as if time were unlimited. If this story has touched you, don't let it pass like just another video. Take a moment today to reflect, to reconnect, to choose what truly matters. Say the words you've been holding back. Forgive the person you've been carrying inside your heart. Live in a way that you won't need a wake-up call to appreciate. Because when the noise fades and everything is stripped away, what remains is not how long you lived, but how honestly you did.